Welcome to the Craig McAvinue Investment YouTube channel. As part of this series of short videos, our last video explained the difference between passive and active investments. In this video, we'll explain what a risk profile is all about. So, what is a risk profile?
Well, very simply put, investors fall into three categories: low risk, medium risk, and high risk. If you're a low risk investor, then you'd be advised to move into a cautious strategy. A medium risk investor would go into a balanced strategy, and a high risk investor would go into an aggressive strategy.
So how do you determine what somebody is?
Questions need to be asked when someone sits down. The most important thing is the person's time horizon. If they have a time horizon of investing of more than 3 years, generally speaking, I advocate going into an aggressive portfolio. But people are scared by that. Most people are inherently risk averse, and when you ask them if you're a low, medium or high risk investor, 90% would say medium or low. Very rarely do people want to be seen as high risk and aggressive investors. But actually, when you look at the strategies of an aggressive portfolio, what they buy is they just buy equity, 100% equity, which makes them inherently high risk. Mm-hmm. But my view is, as long as the time frame is there, the time horizon is there to ride out volatility, which is inherent in the equity markets, my advice is that if you have the time, look at more aggressive strategies which buy equities, but make sure they're good equities.
Okay, so risk profiles, everyone's circumstances change over time. So how do you actually manage that?
Well, that's all about the servicing. You make a very good point when you say that people's circumstances change, and it may not just be down to the fact that they're getting nearer to retirement, when clearly they don't want as much exposure to a volatile equity market, or it may simply be down to a personal situation where they have a daughter that's starting university, or they need to buy a house, or whatever it might be. So you manage their situation by meeting with them on a regular basis. You need to be flexible. You need to understand that just because you decided to enter into a certain strategy, be it aggressive, balanced, cautious at one point, that actually when circumstances change, that strategy needs to change along with it.
So you will basically handhold them through that process, through reports, etc. You'll call them, so you're your point of contact for them.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the important part of our role, is to understand our clients' needs and to deliver portfolios and investment advice which suits their needs. But just if we could illustrate what I spoke about before when it comes to people that do have a longer term horizon and they are investing for their future and their retirement, and it's not likely to be monies they need immediately. Okay, so to illustrate this, if we look at 3 investment strategies by a company I know well from Jersey called Huntress, if you look at the 3-year return, which as I mentioned earlier is a good indicative time frame as to how a portfolio performs, you'll see that over a 3-year period, the cautious portfolio returned 8%, mm-hmm. the balanced portfolio here returned 15%, mm-hmm. but the growth or the aggressive portfolio returned 28%. So whilst there is inherent volatility in the more aggressive strategies, over time you will see greater growth there.
We hope you found this video of use. Please do subscribe to the channel and watch more videos. Click the notification button and get basically notifications of new releases. If you have any questions, please add the questions within the comments and Craig will get back to you. Our next video will be coming up very, very soon, and it's all to do with the timeliness of investment. So thank you very much from Craig and myself.
Thank you, Andrew.